welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another Non-Pro TV Party Hangout. You are watching the Non-Pro TV Party Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. recap show. I'm your host, James, not Frank, like it says in my script. And I'm joined not at all in studio by...
Matt. Hello.
Hi, Matt.
Hey.
On Non-Pro's TV Party, we do a live Google Plus Hangout series where we geek out about our favorite television shows and invite you all to join along. We are not just recapping TV, we are acting weird about it. I think that's the only fitting tagline.
You know, that works.
For our episode today, our hour late, can't get TV party hangouts to work episode. So this week we are talking about 2 episodes of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. We weren't able to get together last week after the season premiere of Bouncing Back. And this week just recently aired the episode The Inside Man. And yeah, I'm excited to talk about both of these episodes. I think there was a lot of cool things that I was very excited about and had a lot of fun with. What about you, Matt?
Oh boy. Okay, there. All right. I like both episodes a lot. It's great to see Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. back. It was fun to see Agent Carter again. But I'll be honest, I was really looking forward to seeing S.H.I.E.L.D. again, and I haven't been disappointed so far with what we've seen. It's good to see them back in action, and I'm definitely looking forward to see what's going to happen next.
Yeah, I really liked it. I mean, I think Bouncing Back a little more than Inside Man, though I thought they were both kind of standard episodes. You know, Bouncing Back had a lot of work to do, being the return from the mid-season finale, and a nice thing, or a thing I like that television shows tend to do right now, is that the mid-season finale really kind of starts up a new kind of bigger plot line while still following plot threads from the other half of a season. So while it feels very fresh, like a series premiere, it's got a lot of work to do kind of setting things up. So you could tell they had a lot of work to do there as we kind of got to meet Daisy's team and the people that were out there looking for more Inhumans. So, Matt, why don't we just go straight into it? Like, what was your favorite? We'll talk about Bouncing Back first. What was some of your favorite moments in Bouncing Back?
Definitely up there is the introductions of the new Inhumans. We have Elena, affectionately known as Yo-Yo by Mac, rather, and the policeman, who actually I don't know if we have a name. Did we get a name? I'm not sure.
I'm unsure if corrupt police officer had a name.
But it's really cool to see more Inhumans popping into the show. One thing I really liked about Elena's power is that, like, she had I guess you would almost say, like, pretty standard, like, super power, like super speed. But the fact that she, like, could go in the distance of, like, 1 heartbeat, but then she, like, gets sent back to her original position, I think that adds, like, a really neat twist to, like, what seems to be, like, a kind of standard ability. Like, it's kind of a limitation, so, like, you actually have to be really clever about how you use it. And I think the episode did a great job of showing how, even though it might not be unlimited super speed, like, it's really it can still be really powerful and really neat how, like, you could apply it.
I totally agree with you. I thought, just her being some, like, standard speedster was kind of, I don't want to say lame, but I mean, as far as, like, Inhuman powers, I'm like, oh, we got fire guy, we got electric guy, and now we got fast girl. But no, the limitation makes it more interesting. Like, it makes it really interesting to think, well, how's she going to use it, or how is that going to play into the way things work? And I thought that was just fascinating. Another thing I really liked in this was I really liked Mac.
Yes.
I continue to feel like Mac is the rock for pretty much everyone in S.H.I.E.L.D. Everybody else is pretty much just unhinged in some way.
Yeah.
They've got one big thing that's kind of weighing them down, but Mac is just so I don't want to say normal, but comparatively to the rest of them, he's so grounded. And I just think it adds a lot to the show, the way he relates to people and the way he has to grow to understand the people around him kind of the way we do. And I think that's really cool. And Mac continues to impress me on Agents of Shield.
Yeah, he's like the guy that's pardon me. He's the guy that's always like cool under fire, which is really neat because he's sort of like the, I guess, almost the de facto second in command, like considering like he was sort of put in charge after Coulson, like after Ward, like he's kind of like one of the big team leaders now.
Yeah.
Like and while like Coulson is Coulson and Daisy is still struggling between her leadership powers and her inhuman powers, Mac is kind of like like you said, he's kind of like the rock of the team, where like he always keeps everybody on task and focused, and he goes in to get the job done. And so yeah, it's a really neat it's a very good spot for him for a character, which I think we were kind of afraid, like we weren't sure how he was going to fit into the show when we found out he was going to be like a regular. Like I think some of us like we're kind of worried about like how he was going to like still kind of like remain relevant and interesting, but I think he's found a good spot, and I definitely look forward to seeing more of him.
Definitely. I think another one of the things that I liked about this episode, I kind of liked a little bit of the world building and setup that they did, while we were in Colombia, and we're seeing that kind of people are recognizing and noticing Inhumans in a way that makes them, be used as valuable assets, like Medusa Man, being kind of a tool of the police force was a neat growing, a neat kind of growing aspect to the world. So I enjoyed that. I theoretically enjoyed Lincoln's addition to the team and seeing him working there. I guess I still have a problem really connecting with Lincoln.
Yeah.
So as much as I think, like for character development, putting that character there and doing that is like the right place for him, I still can't, I don't love Lincoln. I don't.
I'm gonna have to agree with you. I think he did some really neat like medical stuff, and also kind of like some background from his history with Jiang's group on like the philosophies of the Inhumans. But yeah, I'm still kind of struggling to get on board with him, and I'm still really not on board with him and Daisy being together.
Daisy Lincoln?
Daisy
What's
Lincoln.
their Bradgelina name? It's no. I'm not thinking.
Lazy.
Ooh, I like Lazy.
Lazy.
Lazy's good. I'm going with Lazy. It's their Bradgelina name.
Oh my god. But I will say, I mean, while on the subject of Daisy and Lincoln, I do appreciate how in the next episode, the conflict between Lincoln and Daisy, between like when they find out that the absorbing man's blood could maybe actually used as a kind of like a vaccine, and the debate on whether or not like Inhumans should be vaccinated or not. I thought like both sides did a good job of just like showing their arguments, and I do appreciate like they didn't drag out the arguments for like the rest of the season. They seem to be on the mend by the end of the episode. Yeah, so I do appreciate that effort.
Yeah. No, I agree there. I think I even found myself in The Inside Man agreeing a little bit with Lincoln. I'm like, there are some people who probably shouldn't have crazy inhuman powers. I think that's just a normal stance to have. So bouncing back for a second. Another thing I really liked is that we kind of addressed very quickly kind of where Fitz and Simmons are in the episode. So we didn't have this long drawn out drama that like Fitz hadn't told Simmons about what happened on the planet and all that sort of stuff. We just in one scene we're able to kind of quickly address, that Simmons Simmons knows what happened and she's, been processing it and that's something that they're going to deal with probably throughout the thing, but definitely in a positive manner. We got to see them kind of be like, let's, start over. I want us to get to know each other again instead of having all this stuff kind of in between us. And that I really enjoyed. Maybe it's a little bit of a cop out, but I don't know if I wanted the other way. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if I wanted like some long dragged out drama from that, particularly because I'm still a little lukewarm. Like, I like the tension, but I'm a little lukewarm on the, like, well, I know you liked Will and, you were stuck there with him, but, like, I don't know. I feel like there's obviously some. We only got to know Will in one episode. The next time we saw him, he was already a monster. So it's kind of, it's kind of hard for me to connect with Simmons' love for Will.
Yeah, I feel like they're definitely moving on from that, just moving past the whole entire triangle thing, which I do appreciate. And I definitely do agree with you that dealing with that in that short scene at the end I think that was handled really well onto like proceed with the development in the story without like bogging it down for the sake of filling in the episode. But speaking of monsters,
oh yes,
let's talk about Ward. What do we think about new Ward?
Oh my God, he looked so cool. Just seeing him was just really terrifying, and it's Dalton, right?
Yeah, Brett Dalton.
Brett Dalton, I mean, he was so good as Ward. I'm just super glad to still have him on the show. Like, obviously, Ward had to like die.
Yeah.
I think we kind of really did come to a head on that, but it's so cool to have him playing this other really terrifying thing. And it's cool to see just how in charge the thing is over the 2 episodes. Like, you can already tell that what's his name from the World Security Council?
Malik.
Malik, thank you. Malik is already like, whatever you want, whatever you say, don't eat me. Don't eat me. Hail Hydra,
Yeah, I mean, like, at first I was, when Ward died, part of me was kind of sad because I loved, like, snarky, really spit evil Ward. And it was like, oh, but now he's a zombie. This is gonna get kind of lame. But like, yeah, Brett Dalton totally knocks it out of the park of being like this. Might be like physically weak at the current. Well, actually, within the first 2 episodes, actually, and then in the second episode, he seems to be a lot more healthier. But at the time, like a physically weak, but still completely imposing and powerful. Something I don't even like, not a human, and I don't even know what kind of creature it is.
Yeah, I mean,
just
it's some
something.
sort of inhuman, but we don't know like what like this thing is like on a larger scale, like what his power is other than sand lives or whatever that is.
Whatever it is. But yeah, I mean, like, he's oof. I'm looking forward to seeing him like fully healed up and like at full power, because that's gonna be definitely something else to see.
So I think, and before we kind of really stop focusing on bouncing back and move on to the Inside Man, I only had one other problem with bouncing back, and it's an entirely selfish problem.
Okay.
I really wanted to see the addition of some longer term cast members. So I was super excited to see that Joey was like helping in Colombia and he was translating and really being a part of their team. And I'm like, oh man, I'm excited to get to know Joey. I'm really excited to get to know Joey more than I'm excited to get to know Lincoln. And then it was like, well, maybe you don't have to miss dinner on Sunday. And I'm like, no, he has to miss dinner. Don't let him not be in the next episode. You're the worst, Shield. Don't let him have other commitments.
Don't let him have a life. Come on. He doesn't need to be like, he doesn't need happiness or family. He just needs to be thrown into danger.
So I guess I was kind of hoping like there'd be an opportunity to add a couple more Inhumans to this, to Secret Warriors, I guess, in like a more full-time capacity. And I was sad that we didn't get that at the end of the episode. I thought we were kind of going to get that and we didn't.
I mean, I feel like they're still building up towards Secret Warriors. And so like I kind of understand like how they really don't want to fully pull the trigger on it all, which is why they kind of like let Elena and him like go back to their original lives. But I do think definitely, I mean, probably even sooner than we think, considering like how Shield always moves the pace, keeps the pace going. That
Right.
they'll definitely be called, get called back into action, and then we'll start seeing the Secret Warriors formed properly. But yeah, I mean, I do enjoy Joey a lot. I think I feel like it was really neat seeing him like start getting comfortable in his role as part of the team and like start actually like using his powers with confidence. Um, and I mean, yeah, I definitely look forward to him and Elena coming back.
Definitely. So now moving on to focus on the inside man. I was super excited about this because I like Talbot. I like the guy who
Yes.
plays Talbot ever since he was on Heroes. And I was super excited to see him come back. And I feel like I was a little disappointed. Now, so obviously spoilers for the episode. We kind of learned that Talbot's being held, not hostage. What would
Well, he's
that?
being blackmailed, pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah. So he's being blackmailed because oh crap. I forgot his name again already.
Malik. Yeah, Malik. Yeah.
Malik has his son, and he blackmails him to kind of throw Coulson under the bus so he can, get these world leaders on Hydra's side, and kind of manipulate them into doing what he wants. But I think because of that, like we've seen Talbot before as kind of this smart, actual like adversary for Coulson, and Coulson's always a little bit ahead of him, and that was always fine, but he never seemed like incompetent or too bigoted. And I just got a lot of that in this episode in a way that was funny, but also kind of like, I feel like Talbot was a little better than this. But I don't know if that's because he was maybe trying to sabotage himself in some way, knowing that his son was captured and he didn't really want to do it for Hydra, but he had to. I don't know. I guess it's still up in the air, but I didn't love that.
Yeah. I mean, I can imagine like Talbot saying like next episode is like, yeah, that like all that crap I said, that was just an act to like kind of like have Coulson worried about Talbot saying something stupid rather than Talbot betraying him.
Yeah,
but
I feel like they could totally just double back on this next episode and show Talbot doing something awesome, smart, and then I'll believe him that it was an act.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I definitely agree. I really like Talbot as kind of like as a smart adversary, as you say. Like he, in the past, like we see him, like he recognizes the threat, like a threat that comes, and like he's not like completely blind to anything that comes in his way that like would benefit him and Coulson. So hopefully they address that next episode. But I kind of liked from this episode was the return of Absorbing Man.
Oh yeah, no, that was a big surprise for me, but I really enjoyed it.
And it was actually kind of neat. Like he might actually be a good guy. Maybe. I mean, he seemed pretty genuine in helping like Talbot, and then helping the team after like he found out that like he realized that, or when he went to try to save the sun. Yeah, the triple cross there.
Yeah, it was complicated, but I liked it. You know who deserved some slack in this episode, and no one on the team gave it to him? Hunter. Don't like Hunter. He might have been wrong about everything, but he still brought guns. He was right about that. Good idea to have some weapons.
Yeah, I mean, like he was completely wrong about like Creel and everything, but through him being wrong, he stumbled upon the right situation where he ended up like finding the sun, and then and then like informing everybody, and then everybody was able to find out what happened. So good on you, Hunter. Your incompetence saved everybody.
So another thing, I don't want to say I didn't like from the Inside Man, but I was disappointed in, though obviously I know why they did it, is that crazy ward Inhuman death thing. We don't have a name for it yet, right?
I he is actually a character from the comics. I cannot recall it for the life of me at the moment, which is bad because I was just reading about it right before show. So leave a comment on below and correct our
Correct our poor comic knowledge, please.
like what character is Ward supposed to be now? It's on the tip of my tongue now, and I can't think of it.
But I'm sad that he got healthy because I think he looked really cool, all ill like. But I understand that they don't want to have Dalton in makeup for 4 hours before every show. I get it, but he did look really cool, and now he's back to looking kind of just like Ward, and that's not awesome. But he's still really powerful. I'm really curious to know what his abilities are. So apparently he's made believers out of them, right? So he's shown the Inhumans some sort of power or enhanced them in some way. I think maybe even that makes them, want to follow him. But also, like, I wonder what his ability to kind of take the life from these people. It's something I was watching with Katie, and something that was interesting, which she said that I thought was maybe a neat observation is when Medusa Man, again, all these people have real names. You can correct me anytime or comment anytime. Tried to stone Ward. He kind of moved out of like a shadow image of himself, but Katie said it was like he like shook off a life, like, because he's been able to kind of like live so long and take on other people's bodies, that was like a cat, like his 9 lives, and he wasn't hurt by that because he shedded a piece of his power or one of his lives. And I don't know, that sounds like a neat maybe idea of kind of the way his powers work. I just really want to know how his powers work.
Yeah, I mean, like, as far as we know, he is supposed to be an Inhuman, so that slug thing was originally a human, maybe? I mean, I don't think... I mean, like, as far as we know, like, the story was, like, the Inhuman was born on Earth, but, like, then he was banished to the Death Planet.
Right.
So, as far as we know, that, like, the thing that, like, the weird sluggy, whatever, was a human or was created by the original Inhuman, and I guess maybe it moved on when the original host died or something like that. That's still unclear, and I'm curious to see like the full explanation of what this thing is, because I mean, like, they say it's Inhuman, but it definitely just seems straight up alien, like, period.
Yeah, like maybe it started as an Inhuman, but all of that time or something changed it in a way. I think that was really it though. So the Inside Man, I thought, had a lot of fun gimmicks and stuff like that, but I think it was kind of a step down from Bouncing Back, only because it was kind of like, we're going to take a break from all the hardcore setup and do an episode that's more or less fun.
Yeah.
A lot of the episode is taken up by really cool, really funny palling around by Coulson and Talbot, and the whole Talbot being a bit of a bigot thing. So I think they were having a little fun with that. So before we go, what are you most excited for the second half of the season? What big answer do you want, or what big thing do you want to see?
Well, I'm definitely looking forward to seeing Ward, or whatever he is now, face the team again. I'm looking forward to everybody's reaction seeing Ward still like standing in front of them again.
Yeah, that's
like I'm pretty sure there's going to be like a face-to-face some kind of confrontation soon.
Oh, and yeah,
it'll definitely it's definitely gonna be cool.
I think maybe midway through, but it's going to be awesome. They're gonna be real scared.
How about you? What are you looking forward to?
I guess it's kind of the same thing I said about Joey before. Like, with Civil War coming up and everything like that, like I really want to see them tie in the Inhuman stuff. You know what I mean? Like a whole bunch of people running around with powers in the world being afraid of it. You know, like that's Marvel's big thing for the second, for the second half of this year or this part of the year, and they gotta hammer it home.
Mm.
So that's me. Crossover stuff.
Crossovers. I mean, speaking of crossover stuff, another MCU stuff. You should be watching Daredevil after you watch this show. after like first watch our TV party, but then go back to watching Daredevil. It's awesome. I'm around like halfway through it. It's pretty amazing.
You 20 minutes from Daredevil to watch this, but then go back to Daredevil. We all know you want to.
And there are a couple of tie-ins to the other series. There's at least one to Jessica Jones, and like there's a very, very minor crossover with Shield, or like a nod to Shield.
Nods are good.
And so if you notice it, leave a comment, but like without spoiling it. But let us know if you noticed anything.
Definitely. And if you want to talk about any of Daredevil, we've got a thread going on facebook.com/group/NonPro. Join our fan club and hang out and talk to us about your love of Daredevil and what you think has been awesome this season. And we talk about Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and stuff there too. So if you're a big Marvel person, definitely do it. If you're a DC guy, we talk about DC too.
Yep.
DC just needs some.
We need more DC love, in all honesty.
We do. We have a big Flash and Arrow love there, but we could use somebody willing to try to defend Batman v Superman. I challenge thee.
Wow.
But yeah, so everyone, thank you for joining us for this TV party hangout. I can't actually play the music and talk at the same time, so I'm going to get ready to play the music. But thank you for joining us. We're really glad you did. And join us next week when we talk about the episode Parting Shot. It's exciting.
Sounds good.